The days are longer, the calendar is filling up, and I want to feel as good as this beautiful summer weather. That's why I've been loving Groons. It's one daily pack of gummies that covers my greens, vitamins, and minerals, and even has 6 grams of prebiotic fiber, so I don't need to juggle a complicated wellness routine on top of everything else. They taste amazing. They're easy to toss in my bag on the go. Plus, they're vegan, gluten-free, and HSA, FSA eligible for reimbursement. Save up to 52% off with promo code podcast at Gruns.co. That's code podcast at GRUNS.co.
Hey, it's Mike Grimm, host of the Go Gopher Podcast, inviting you to join me for a live on-site episode on Thursday, October 5th at Head Flyer Brewing in Northeast Minneapolis. We'll be previewing the Minnesota-Michigan game, which is that week, the battle for the Little Brown Jug. We'll give away a pair of tickets to that game, have a couple of Gopher players on hand, and get everyone in the mood for Golden Gopher football. Head Flyer Brewing will have discounts, including great deals on buying Little Brown Jugs of craft beer. And the Little Brown Jugs are not that little. Thursday, October 5th, Head Flyer Brewing. Happy hour starts at 6. The show goes at 7. The Go Gopher Podcast. Can't wait to see you at Head Flyer Brewing. It's the Go Gopher Podcast with Mike Grimm, episode number 88. I am Mike Grimm, voice of the Golden Gophers, and welcome back to the podcast. We have one of our Rockstar Go Gopher Podcast guests coming back with us today, Gopher All-America candidate Tyler Nubin. He'll be making his 4th appearance with us here on the podcast, and he'll join us shortly. The St. Charles, Illinois native will be going back to his hometown area to play against Northwestern this weekend. He'll give us an assessment of the season so far and a whole bunch more. He's the best. Tyler Nubin will be our guest. Our Go Gopher Podcast is presented by alumni-owned Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're a business founder planning to exit your business, start by contacting Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. Sunbelt serves more businesses up to $5 million in revenue than anyone, and True North M&A serves companies with revenues up to $150 million. Get a confidential, no cost, no obligation business valuation started today. Make the most of your life's work. Visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com today. Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union is also a big-time sponsor of the Go Gopher Podcast. Life math is complicated, and Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union makes it easier with local financial experts available to help in person or virtually. Learn more at affinityplus.org/GoGophers. That's affinityplus.org/GoGophers. They sponsor our player profile segment here in the podcast, supporting Golden Gopher student athletes. We're also thrilled that Cub has joined us as a major sponsor on the Go Gopher Podcast. Join Cub, the University of Minnesota, and M Health Fairview Masonic Children's Hospital. Donate to Cub Kindness and give kids a chance at a full life. Cub cares. The Go Gopher Podcast is now also sponsored by Head Flyer Brewing, located in Northeast Minneapolis, right next door to campus. It's a great vibe, it's great craft beer, and more. Head Flyer Brewing will be hosting a live version of the Go Gopher Podcast in just 2 weeks. It's Thursday night, October 5th. Happy hour at 6, a live podcast at 7. There'll be beer specials. We'll give away a pair of tickets to the Minnesota-Michigan game. We'll have a couple of players stop by to hang out for the podcast. If you haven't been to Head Flyer Brewing, please do so, and please make it a point to come out Thursday, October 5th, happy hour at 6, podcast at 7. Our podcast is also sponsored by State Farm agent Tony Hoagland at ChamplinInsurance.com. We're podcasting episode 88 from the Aquarius Home Services studio. We invite you to subscribe to the Go Gopher Podcast. It's free to subscribe and free to listen at any time. In fact, you can go back into the archives and listen to the Go Gopher Podcast from previous weeks. Last episode, for example, we had a great guest with kicker Dragan Kesic. So much personality. Go back and listen to that. This episode, we're talking Golden Gopher football with star safety Tyler Nubin. He had those 2 big interceptions in the season opener. He's next on the Go Gopher Podcast.
I'm Clay Geary, walk-on turned scholarship wide receiver for Gopher football.
And I'm Ben Utek, U of M alumni, Super Bowl champion, and Tony Dungy Uncommon Award winner.
We understand championship culture, which is why we're part of the True North family of companies.
True North invests in only elite teams, like the champion team at Sunbelt Business Advisors, Minnesota's largest seller of companies. To learn more about True North and our diverse family of independently owned companies, visit TrueNorthEquityPartners.com.
much can you save when you shop Cub? Let's just say you might need a bigger cart. We've lowered prices so you save more. On Essential Every Day, it's easy to see the savings. Across the aisles, from pantry products to frozen foods to delicious dairy and more. Your family will love it, guaranteed, or your money back. Shop Cub and save today. My Cub, my way. See store for details.
It's episode number 88, the Go Gopher Podcast. Mike Grimm with you, along with Golden Gopher senior safety Tyler Nubin. By my count, this is your fourth appearance on the Go Gopher Podcast.
Yeah, man. Yeah, appreciate you having me on again, dog. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for coming back. We had you on at the Big Ten Football Media Day in July, and we talked about you coming back for an additional year when you had options to maybe go play pro football. Mm-hmm. So from July until now, as we're in late September, how has it been for you to be back? Any regrets? Are you happy with being back and wearing the maroon and gold?
Yeah, man. There's no regrets, man. I would have been regretting it if I didn't come back. That's really was the whole part of my decision to come back, really. And I'm just trying to enjoy it every single moment because I know it goes fast, and I know it's gonna be gone soon. So just enjoying the moment.
What about the college experience do you enjoy the most?
Just being around my teammates, man, and just being around the guys every day and going to war with them, through winter workouts, spring ball, because college football is obviously different than pro football. When you're done with the season, everybody goes their own way. But you work out with these guys all year. You get to see them fail, get to see them grow, get to see guys get better. So that's one of my favorite parts, and it's been one of my favorite parts of this year, just sitting back and watching that.
You mentioned ups and downs. So last week maybe was not the way you guys wanted it to go from an outcome standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Gopher fans and talking, man, that was a great trip. It was fun going to Carolina. Cool setting, cool experience. There were a lot of fans there wearing maroon and gold. Mm-hmm. How do you respond now, though, coming off of a game like that?
Just like we respond any other week, just get the film, find out what we did wrong, find out what we did right, and go get better in practice. So whether we win or lose, the result doesn't matter. We're always going to respond to whatever result we put on film. Coach likes to say, even if we win, we want to come in here and, it's going to feel like we lost because we're going to get better. So it's really just the same process. Obviously, we know it's got to be expedited because that wasn't the result we wanted last week, but it's just like any other week, just respond.
Were there some things you could pinpoint? Well, first of all, let's say this. At the table late in that third quarter, it's a one-possession game. Right. At that point, if you punch one in there offensively and who knows where it goes, that didn't happen. Were there some things that you put your finger on, maybe on your side of the ball, that, okay, here's what we're going to learn and here's what we're going to put into next week? Yeah,
a lot of the tempo stuff that they were doing was stuff that we weren't exactly prepared for. Obviously, we knew they were going to go tempo. We knew they were going to do that, but just some of the things they were doing out of tempo, we had to kind of adjust to. So a lot of those things, a lot of those adjustments that we made, we've been working in practice this week. Just being on top of our details and knowing that every single moment, every single situation could be a big play. So we got to be on top of our details all the time.
When you mentioned that some of the tempo stuff you weren't prepared for, do you mean that more in the sense that you were prepared, but until you really see the tempo, okay, now here, or that, we got surprised by some things, or a combo of both?
I wouldn't say that we were surprised by some things because, we worked tempo during the week. We knew it was coming. It came at different points in the game. So we just had to adjust to the things that they were doing, the formations they were giving us out of tempo.
And then I think there were a couple of plays too, right, where it, because of the tempo, some subs, and all of a sudden you got a guy and the play's already underway, and he's trying to figure out, where do I got to be? Right. And that can get you, right? Mm-hmm. Tempo can get you. I think PJ even this week on his coach's show said there was one in particular that he kicks himself. He should have taken a timeout. It ended up being a play. And mistakes happen, but tempo can catch you.
That's on us too. Like we got to be able to match up. We got to be able to get our eyes in the right spot, have urgency to get back to the spot whenever the play ends. So, it's just a learning curve. We touched the stove in the game, and I don't think that's going to ever happen again.
And that's a pretty good team and a pretty good quarterback too. 100%. Can you talk a little about that? I know sometimes it's like, well, if we had done this or that, but sometimes too the quarterback made some plays, right? Yeah. Sometimes you have to tip your cap.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of guys, a lot of quarterbacks that we've played or I've played, you can make a mistake and it won't hurt you. Against a quarterback like that, you make a mistake, you're out of position, he's always going to find the open player. He's always going to find the open receiver, and that's what happened. So he like I said, they capitalized on our mistakes. When we were in the wrong position, he made the right play, he made the right decision, and put the ball in the right place. And you can't do that against an elite quarterback. You got to be on top of it. You really can't do that against anybody, because anybody could take advantage of you making a mistake, but especially in a game like that against a quarterback like him, he's not going to miss that.
You guys have a few new players on the backside of that defense, and obviously you and Wally are the returning guys that are being counted on. And then first year you don't have Jordan Howden next to you in your time, and Darius Green I think's been really good in watching. On the other side, Trayvon Jones has been good. Jack Henderson's part of that. Aiden Gooseby is in, and he's learning the role. And a little like you in your first year of real action, some good, some okay. That's a play we got to be better at or whatever. Take me through how the meshing is going with that group now back there with you as the leader.
Yeah, it's been going real good, honestly. I think better than it has ever before, really, just because we got a lot of guys that take charge and are real leaders, even though they haven't, been starting that long. Like Darius, he's a leader. Jack Hendo, he's a leader. And all those guys want to work. They want to learn. They want to get in the film room. They want to get together. We're having meetings, almost every single day with the corners, just being able to know where our help is, know our coverages, know our calls and stuff like that. So that's something that we haven't had across the board, honestly, in my 5 years being here. And that goes all the way down to the young guys, too. Some guys that, aren't even playing, aren't even getting the chance to play. They're still doing the same thing. So it's been great. I
think you may have mentioned this in fall camp in one of your news briefings that Darius at one point, because there's a standard, right? So, hit the standard, that there was, I don't know, some play that he actually told you, like, hey, this is the standard, and you were like, look like, oh, okay, you got, okay, man, all right, here we go. Take me through if that surprised you, and did you like that? Yeah,
I always love that, man. I always tell the guys, I'm obviously going to be the first person to hold everybody to the standard, but I'm a human. I can make mistakes too. I can forget about it as well, and so I like other guys to hold me to the standard as well. That's what I preach all throughout winter workouts, all throughout spring ball, and then in the summer we in summer workouts, and I have my hands on my hips a little bit, and that's not something that we do in this program. And Darius said, hey man, that's not the standard. Get your hands off your hips. And I looked at him, I'm like, all right, man, you starting to get it now. So that was a great thing to see. I always love that.
I was just testing you.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, I was like, I was making sure you knew.
That's good. That's good. Jack Henderson had a big game, 11 tackles, had the interception in the first half. PJ's talked about the fact he loves football, meaning Henderson. Obviously, PJ does too, but talking about Henderson, that part of what was attractive to them recruiting him was the love for the game. You've talked about that almost every time we've been on the podcast, that you just love football, that you want to study, you want to, and I'm going to ask you about this later on, but you want to know the other team's offense as much as they know it. Do you see those qualities in Henderson, and has that been a help in clicking, so to speak?
100%. And honestly, like you said, that's honestly the big reason why he fits us so well. It's almost like he's always been here. He kind of reminds me of like a Jack Gibbons when he came in, and he was really just integrated into the program right away, because that's the type of guy that we like to have in our program, like type of guy that we like to have on our defense. And he's gelled really well with everybody. Everybody loves his energy that he brings. He's a funny guy. Always saying the craziest things. But he's got a great personality, man. And like you said, he loves football, bro. So can't not love him.
And how about Trey Jones too on the other side? He's from Elon College, had the interception in the end zone right before halftime, which kept points off the board in that season opener. Had, I think,
you stole my pick.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. One of you two were going to get that thing. And then through 2 weeks, he had like 14 tackles in the first 2 weeks. How has he fit in? Is he a similar kind of guy in terms of the love of the game?
Yeah, 100%. I think all the guys that we brought in this year, him, Tyler Bride, Ryan Seelig, especially on the defensive side, like everybody just loves football, man, and they love to learn, love to grow, love to go to practice. So like I said, brothers, you can't not love to play with guys like that. And I think the coaching staff did a really good job of bringing the right guys in.
and they're contributing, which is nice. Because I think in the off season, you think about, like, fans can think about this. You guys know because you're working, you're lifting weights, you're with these guys. But fans are like, well, who's going to start opposite Wally? Wally's got the one side locked down, and he's had a great year. Had the big punch out to help set up the game tying touchdown against Nebraska, and all that stuff. Who's the other on the other side? And Jones has really tackled that spot, no pun intended, right? I mean, he's taken it and contributed and had an impact.
100%, man.
Let's talk about this weekend, and then I want to go back to the Nebraska game where you had the 2 interceptions, because you and I discussed that the day before, so we'll have to talk about that a little bit. But let's talk about Northwestern first. They're next up, kind of a quirk in the schedule. You'll be through 4 weeks and already have 2 Big Ten games done. As you'll have a non-conference homecoming game a week from Saturday. As we record this, we're talking on Wednesday of the Northwestern game, and so it's back to your home area. You've been back to play there a couple of times, and final time you'll probably be playing as a college athlete in your home city, or the general Chicagoland area. Not going to your home city, but close enough, right? Right. How much fun have you had there, and how much fun do you think it'll be this weekend to go get that last crack at it?
It's always fun. Obviously, got a bunch of family members. My mom actually grew up in Evanston, literally like 10 minutes from the stadium, so I'm going to have a bunch of family members, a bunch of friends. I think my high school coach might come through. My high school basketball coach is going to come through, so it's always awesome to see them, before the game, after the game, and, play in front of those guys, so it's going to be great.
It's a home game, so to speak. Your family, your mom and dad go to all the games, and we see them in the hotels. I remember even 2 years ago at Northwestern, they were there waiting, right? When the bus got there, they're ready to see their 2 sons.
They're going to be there again.
They'll be there waiting. But this is for their home. They got to love this. There's no plane tickets to buy. There's I don't think they're probably staying in the team hotel. They're probably just going to drive home and hang out. And so they got to love this one, right?
Yeah, they love it, man. This is literally just a 30-minute drive. They right there. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Your dad played at Eastern Michigan, right?
Yes.
So he didn't have any worries about the game 2 weeks ago, right?
Nah, he didn't care. My mom, honestly, she came to the team hotel in my dad's old EMU jersey. So I think she was more excited about it than he was.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool tidbit, though, right? I mean, that you're playing against your dad's alma mater, and then got the win in that one. Northwestern, when you look at, as we mentioned, you are a guy who loves football. You've talked about that you learn, even at this point of your career, you still want to learn. You want to now know the other, because you got the Gopher side of things, pretty well handled. Now you want to know their offense and what are their tendencies. How well now do you think, and we still have a few days left, how well do you know Northwestern, would you say?
I'd say pretty well. Honestly, when we get to Wednesday, we're pretty much done first and second down wise. Third down, still working stuff in. And then, Thursday, Friday, we get into, green zone, tight green zone, backed up, coming out, short yards, goal line, that type of stuff. But, middle of the week, you know them pretty well.
Was there ever, you mentioned your mom's from Evanston, was there ever a thought in your mind that you might be a Wildcat as your high school player?
A little bit, honestly. Like seriously, when they started recruiting me and, going to visit there, I had, a little inkling. I knew a couple guys that were already there. Greg Newsom, he was there. Cam Mitchell, he was already committed there. So, I had a couple of my friends in my ear telling me to, come, either way. So, I kind of did a little bit.
I mean, there'd be worse places to get a degree from.
No, 100%.
Worse places to go to play football in, right? They've had some success over the years. So remind me, we've talked about this probably in previous visits here. So maybe Northwestern's on the radar. Who else is on the radar? And then ultimately, what turned you to Gold Country here to be a Golden Gopher?
Man, that's a long time ago.
It is a long time ago.
I think it was really between Minnesota, Northwestern, Michigan, and Michigan State. That was probably my top 4 at the end. And what really drew me towards Minnesota was just Coach Fleck's consistency with me and my family. Just, always being in my ear, always talking to me, always hitting me up, telling me, you're a great player, you're going to be a great player here, stuff like that. And just the connectivity that I felt when I got on campus, not only from the coaches, but the players as well. Just being around the players, like it really felt like a family there. And I didn't get that sense in my other visits. So it was kind of an easy decision after that point, after, visiting all the schools and being around each team. Just the culture that's here is second to none, and it's different than everywhere else. So I want to be a part of it, and I want to be part of something special.
And now you're in year 5 of that. How do you think it shaped you now as you went from, an old kid to a young adult, I guess, from, 18 to what, you're 22, 23, 22. Yeah. So that's a formative time to be developed. How do you think the program shaped you?
Yeah, I mean, I actually came in at 17. So honestly, I was still a kid, bro. And I think, Coach Flake in this program has definitely made me the person I am today. It's taught me a lot about work ethic. It's taught me a lot about response. It's taught me a lot about being able to fail and grow. Honestly, everything. It's a testament to Coach Fleck and how he runs this program, man, that you can learn something outside of football every single day in this program. And I've learned a lot, not just football-wise, but outside of football-wise, how to be a better man, how to be a better boyfriend, how to be a better son, how to be a better teammate, things like that. So I believe that I'm the man I am today because of this program.
We talked about this in July a little bit in Indianapolis about the culture. You're not coming back if you don't like the culture, one, but two, it's not easy, right? I mean, you come through this through 5 years, you're going to come out knowing a lot, but you also have been through some hard work to put through or go through some of the requirements and parameters that are required in this culture, right?
Right. Yeah. It honestly, the best way to put it is it forces you to be elite in every single area in your life. Like a lot of guys want to go to college and just play football and chill. But that's not this program. Like, you're going to go to class. You're going to sit up in front of 2 rows. You're going to get good grades. Like, you're going to pay attention socially. You're going to be able to put yourself around the right people. Spiritually, you're going to be able to believe in something bigger than you. So honestly, it forces you to be elite in every single area in your life, and that's hard. That's really hard, especially as a student athlete, college football. You got a lot on your plate. You might want to slack off a couple of times. That's human nature, and that's what we're always fighting. So that's why it's hard, because we're fighting human nature every single day.
Your brother, we talked about this too last time, that helped you as a leader, helped you at growth when your brother showed up. And he's played some, but last week he played at a point in the game that was still in doubt. Important plays, impactful plays.
Right.
How much did that mean to you to see that?
Yeah, it was awesome, man. He's a kid that's earned everything he's gotten, and he works his butt off every single day, man. And just to see him get a chance to prove himself and be able to put all that work that he's put in out there, it's been awesome, man. Especially as a big brother, man. That's the best thing to see.
Now, as he's out there, are you able to sneak a peek? Or are you sitting with the position coaches trying to figure out how to stop Drake May at that point?
It's hard. It's hard because I'm on the benches. We're getting adjustments where we're going over there drawing up the plays that we just got for the series. And I peek up and I see number 30 in the backfield. I'm like, hold on. I got to stand up for a second, get a little peek, and then I got to sit back down. So, it's excited. And then I got to lock in. We got to figure out what we're doing next series. Yeah. So, it's most of the excitement comes after the game when I see him.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt. That was fun to see as well. And hopefully that continues. It'd be great to see him get in this weekend 100%. Again down in the Chicagoland area. Let me talk real quickly here about one of our sponsors. Affinity Plus is your local credit union, proudly serving Minnesota since 1930. As a current Gopher student, or if you're a proud Gopher alum, you'll be eligible to join a financial that wants to build a meaningful banking relationship and put you first. You can meet with a local employee at any of their branches statewide, including one right here near campus on University Avenue in Minneapolis. To learn more or find another way to connect or find any of their branches throughout the state, go to affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. That's affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA, and they're on the verge of making a couple of different announcements in terms of some name, image, and likeness deals, which are awesome, so keep an eye out for that. And as always, during the football season, they provide a gift card of $100 to our guests to help support Gopher student athletes. So Affinity Plus has Tyler hooked up here with a $100 gift card. I think last time you said gas money. I don't know what it'll be this time.
Oh, it's still gas money.
Still gas money.
I appreciate that, Affinity.
Yeah, Affinity Plus. They're one of the best. They're great Gopher supporters, and we thank them. So Northwestern's offense, without giving away the defensive game plan, what can we as fans and broadcasters expect to see from the team wearing purple on Saturday night?
Yeah, they're I'd say they like to get your eyes in the wrong spot, like I kind of said over there in the media. There are going to be a lot of motions, a lot of shifts, a lot of things to gain information for the offense to see what we're in, but to also mess up our calls and get our eyes in the wrong places and be able to bring something back. So it's going to be a lot of that. It's going to be a lot of different things that we might not have seen before. But it's. That's why we do this. That's why we watch film. That's why we play college football, because it's a great challenge, and we can't wait for it.
So if you know it enough, and again, not to give away the game plan, as
it's kind of hard to explain it without
giving away what you guys want to do. So and we don't want to do that. Right. But so as you see Bryant come out into a formation, will you try to recognize, okay, this is the shift they did last week, and so here's what we think might happen. But you can't totally commit to that, right? Because as you mentioned, they want to give. So mindset-wise, aside from strategy-wise, what are things you're kind of looking for?
It's knowing what your next call is going to be. I think that's the biggest part of defense is, they're going to come out in formation. We're obviously going to give our coverage calls, our formation calls, but knowing what type of motions and shifts and how they're going to move your eyes out of that formation is critical. And that's really what I've been hammering home on myself, and what we've been hammering home on as a defense, and being able to know what calls we're going to next, so that when it does happen, we already anticipate it. We already know it's coming, so we can get our calls out fast to be able to play what we see. A lot of times with those type of offenses, if you don't know your next call, you don't know what you're going to, and you don't know the type of plays you're getting out of that formation personnel group situation, you're going to get messed up. You're not going to know what happens. Then, boom, the ball's hiked and it's a 30-yard run up the middle. So that's really what we're holding in on, and that's basically just our details. And
it's such a cat and mouse game, right? Because I'm sure the quarterback is shifting to see what you guys might be doing.
Exactly.
And they're probably saying, well, they saw this on film, let's do this a little different maybe. You're also trying to disguise what you guys are doing, where the quarterback's like, well, last week they did this, and you might be, well, no, we're going to do it different. So it's a beauty of football, right?
That's why I love football, man. That's why I love football.
I want to talk to you about those Nebraska interceptions, because it sounded like, well, one, I know I predicted it, but two, it sounded like you were on the sideline, like, we're going to get one and we're going to go down. So I want to talk about that here in a moment. I want to mention one more sponsor for us here before we get to our final segment. You've heard me talk about one of our great new sponsors, and as football season is now rolling, Head Flyer Brewing in Northeast Minneapolis is on board. They have great craft beer, big selection, big flavors. My favorite is the No Funny Stuff is what it's called. It's a little on the lighter side, but that's me. They also have some of the heavy flavors as well, the IPAs, the hazy IPAs. And they would like to invite Gopher fans to come out for road games, including this weekend. Come out, watch the game. They've got big screen TVs. They've got all kinds of cool things, outdoor seating, indoor seating. It's just a great vibe. It's only 1.5 miles from the stadium. If you come to the games on game day, home games, as we mentioned, they're 1.5 miles from the stadium. Stop by pregame, stop by postgame, stop by both. Also, mark your calendars for Thursday, October the 4th. That's the week of the Minnesota-Michigan game. We will have a live podcast on that Thursday night, October 5th. We'd love to see all kinds of Gopher fans come. There'll be happy hour specials. It's the battle for the little brown jug. They have these little brown jugs that they're going to sell. You can fill it. You can't probably, but you can fill it and buy a little brown jug of beer, and it will be discounted 6 to 7 for the happy hour. Then we're going to have a live show 7 to 8. A couple of players are going to come by. We're going to give away a pair of tickets to the Minnesota-Michigan game. And as mentioned, they also have some Gopher gear that they can sell. So October 5th, that's a Thursday night, Head Flyer Brewing, all kinds of fun stuff. In fact, you can stop by this week as well. You don't have to wait for the show. It's a great spot right near campus. Head Flyer Brewing, take a flyer.
Hi, Gopher fans. Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on lights, we switch TV channels, we switch on the TV. And with the new transfer portal, some college students even switch colleges, which can seem crazy to us diehard fans. But what's not crazy is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, my agency can switch you over so we can start saving today. My team is ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood and show you it is, in fact, easy to switch and save. When you want the real deal, check us out at ChamplinInsurance.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
episode 88. It is Tyler Nubin with us here on our podcast. All right, so let's talk about that Nebraska game. One, it was so much fun watching, one, you play, but two, watching Jurgon Kesic boot that field goal through to win it. An emotional sellout night. It didn't look great with about 6 minutes left, and then the defense, which had played well all night, made two big plays. The offense answered the bell and got two scoring drives, and all of a sudden you're stepping off the field with the win. You and I had talked on Fast Friday at the stadium, and I have to go back to the previous Friday because the previous Friday we had our first Gopher Football Weekly with PJ Flex show on the radio, and I had watched. I knew that you were good. I knew you were ready. I thought the matchup was good. I thought that, and I'm not trying to be disparaging of anybody, but I thought that quarterback had the ability to maybe throw it to the other team once or twice, right? So all that, my genius mind said, I think Nubin's going to get a couple. Yeah. I told PJ that in the commercial break, not on the air, but I said, hey, I think Tyler's got a shot here. And PJ, he's so like straight ahead, superstitious, doesn't want. He's like, I hope you're right. And that's all he wanted to say. He didn't want to say, I hear that. Right. I hope you're right. So then we just happened to be leaving the field after practice at the same time. And you're always kind and you give me the fist bump and say, hey, how's it going, Mike? And I say, I got you for two. Yeah. And what'd you say?
I said, I got me for two.
And you got two. So it was great. So we mentioned it on the air, and then you were funny to bring it up in the Star of the Game post-game show afterwards with Justin Gard.
I remember that. Right when I caught the second one, I saw Justin on the sideline, and I said, Mike caught it. I said that was all Mike.
It was great. It was fun. And I really, it wasn't like it is fun, but I really did think that thing set up well, that you had a shot to have a big night. Every night you're out there, you have a shot, but I really liked the matchup there. You got the first one. I do want to ask you too, because you mentioned in the post game, and I think this is so cool. You're like, I kind of want to hear what Gus Johnson said, because Gus is the guy, right? He's the Fox guy, and he does. He brings an excitement level that's incredible. Yeah. So I think one of the communications guys had the highlights and played it, right? Yeah, and so what was your thinking when he's like, Nubin? Yeah. This is Gus Johnson bellowing your name.
Man, I almost shed a tear. Honestly, bro, that's been like one of my dreams. Like, I've been telling my dad this. I told my girlfriend this before the game. I was like, I'm going to get a pick, and Gus Johnson's going to call my name, and I need to hear it. Like, I need to hear that. So that's always been a childhood dream of mine. I've been watching college football for obviously a long time. He's been doing it for a long time and calling some crazy legendary game.
Any game he does, it seems like, is nuts, right?
100%, yeah. And every call is legendary. So just wanted to be a little part of that. So that was awesome.
And he did a great job, because I think you make the catch and he's like, whoa! Yeah, he's like, wow! Which is just amazing, which was awesome. So that part was pretty cool. And then, as we mentioned, you talked to JG afterwards, and somebody on the team, I forget who, now it doesn't come to my mind, mentioned that before on that last drive, you said on the sideline, we're going to get one. Yep. And the offense will go down. Because at that point, they're starting to drive. And now Gopher fans are like, oh, this could tip the wrong way here. Great catch by Jackson, the toe tap. Right. Sweatshirts and hoodies out there, dinkytownathletes.com. Right. Go fill up your closet with those. An amazing catch. Sick. Amazing catch, right? Yeah. So now it's tied. Now the defense has the pressure. And Kesic was on last week on the podcast. He said he felt more pressure on the extra point than on the 47-yard field goal, because you miss that extra point. That's no good. You missed the field goal, you still got overtime problems. So he said he felt less pressure, but he had no problem. It's like a slam dunk for him from there. And so all of that, but okay, all of a sudden they've moved now down to around midfield. And you're like, man, one or two more completions, they might be in field goal range. Right. You had said on the sideline to somebody, what made you feel confident? And then walk me through the play.
Yeah, I think it was on a timeout, and Coach Fleck actually had came up to me and he said, "You're gonna end it." And I said, "I know." I told him, "I know. Like, I'm gonna end it right here. Like, if they throw the ball more than one time, I'm gonna pick it off." Like, I just put it in my mind that I was gonna go do it. And honestly, I didn't know what their game plan was gonna be. I didn't know if they were gonna run the ball or throw the ball.
We thought they might kneel on it, right? Play for overtime. Yeah, some teams will do that,
right? Exactly. Yeah. I had no idea, but I think I took it a little bit from Tweez a little bit. I got to see my freshman year. He did that all the time.
Tweez is Antoine Winfield.
Yes, Antoine. Sorry about that, Antoine Winfield. all the time he would be on the sideline and be like, I'm about to go get a pick. And then he would go on the field and get a pick. So I think it's just a power of just having that confidence in yourself and, putting it out there, speaking it into existence. That's really what I was trying to do there. And, I knew every time that he dropped back, I was going to be locked in because I already said it. So, I got to go back it up now.
Tell me about the play then. So what did you see? Because just me as an amateur guy, I'm not a film study guy. I understand tendencies. Like you make a break on the ball. If you don't catch it, it could be like once you committed to that, you darn well better pick it, right? Because if it gets by you, now it's real trouble.
Touchdown, right.
So once you committed, you knew it was do or die.
Right, yeah, 100%. They gave us kind of the same look that they gave us the drive before that I had actually missed. They had hit the ball on the hash, and I had missed it. I had missed the hot read. I didn't see it, and I knew that if they did it again, I was gonna be able to jump that. So I got the same formation. In my mind, I was like, all right, if I get a hot read, I'm not gonna miss this one. And I got the hot read. Ball came up. I looked and I seen the dig coming, and I just trusted myself and I broke, and he threw it and I was able to make a play on it. I wish I kept my feet so I could have took it to the crib and made Coach Fleck right, because that's what he said. He said you're gonna pick it and take it to the house.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
It was an eyelash from that though, right? I mean, if you could that last little step get out there, you were awfully close to doing that. Now, when you say a hot read, was that because there was a blitz was called? Yeah.
So a hot read is basically when the running back comes out of the backfield. Obviously, that's 50s protection, so the ball's got to come out. And the quarterback, every quarterback has their own different hot read. That's something that we were picking up on throughout film study, how he sets his feet, where the ball is. And I got that. I got the back out. I got the feet set. I got the ball up.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is right there. So it was awesome, man.
Did you, and maybe you don't want to say, did you bait him into it a little bit?
I did.
Did you? And so take me through how a defensive back might do that.
Yeah. So obviously we were in man coverage, so I'm in the post, so I gotta pedal and play the middle third of the field, the middle of the field really. And so when I got that hot read, I just stopped pedaling. And started pushing the move over a little bit. I didn't want to go too far because in some instances, if you go too far, he's just going to fit it in behind you, and then that's an explosive play. So I wanted to wait until I got we call it hand off the grenade. So when the ball when the hand comes off the ball, obviously they're going to have two hands on it. When the hand comes off the ball and he's starting to cock back to throw, that's when I break. So I was just waiting for that hand off the grenade. When the hand goes off the grenade, got to run.
Because if you come a little earlier, he's either going to come off that read and throw it elsewhere, or tuck and run.
Yeah, or he could wait for you to
wait
be out of the window and throw it behind you.
So you had to time it right.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes into
some
it.
Skill involved there for sure. It's amazing, all the whole thing. That's why, in fact, I mentioned even in that night, I said that's the beauty of football is you just 1 minute it's like, oh man, 0-1. You're going to start this season 0-1. There's 6 minutes left, and 6 minutes of game time later, you're 1-0, and it's such a huge difference.
You're never out of it.
Where were you when Kesich kicked it, and what was your emotion like? Who were you around? Obviously around your teammates on the sideline.
I was hugging Danny Collins and praying, hoping that it went in, honestly. And then I don't even think I looked at it to see if it went in. Like I just was judging by I didn't want to look at it, and I was just judging by the crowd and just the reaction to everybody. So I think I realized it went in late. So everybody was already celebrating. I was like, oh, and then you know what I mean. Then there was a celebration time, but yeah, I didn't want to look at it.
Yeah, there was a video out there. I think Winston also had his back turned to it, and he was just waiting for the crowd, and then he just got that big Winston smile.
On his face.
All right, we got the win there. PJ said that he had walked to the other end of the field just to get an angle on it. And he said just as it's about getting set up, he looked over and Mo is on the sideline. Yep. So he said that was the first guy he hugged, and they had a good deal there. So it's so cool. You've seen Kesich kick enough. I mean, the dude's got just this great leg.
Yeah.
You feel pretty comfortable after your interception, after, Tyler gets the run down in there, Sean Tyler, to make it, not a 60-yarder, which PJ has said he would have, if they got nothing, they would have kicked to try to 60. 100%. And when you look at it, it looks like it would have been good from 60, but they felt good from there. 47, you felt good?
Yeah, that's way within his range, 100% within his range. I knew it was going to go in, but I thought it's bad luck if you look at it.
Yeah.
So,
little superstition there.
You got to let it go. You just got to let him do his thing, man. I don't need to look at it. It's already in.
Yeah. So 3 weeks in, three games in, you'll have 2 of the Big Ten games done, then homecoming next week, and then you get back into the bulk of the Big Ten schedule. None of it's easy for sure. We've talked about it as opportunistic. Assess just generally at 3 weeks in where you think you're at as a team and where you can head.
Yeah, I think this is a really exciting time because I feel like we haven't played our best football all around yet, offense, defense, and special teams. And, a lot of people will say, that's bad. They can look down on it, we haven't played our best football. But, that's really exciting to me because, we've won 2 games. We were in the mix against North Carolina, obviously had some mistakes. But just to know that we haven't actually played our best football all around and that we can still do that is really exciting to me. And, it's going to be awesome to see what we can do with the rest of the schedule.
And hanging out with your guys, it's kind of fun. I was joking with myself. It's episode 88. I should have seen if Brev could come and hang out, right? Because I know that was one you guys both could have, gone on.
Right.
And I think you told me that you guys even discussed it a little bit, right? You guys are pretty tight.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, honestly, a lot of my decision to come back was because of Brev. We talked about the type of team that we could have, the type of effect that we could have on the team as leaders. So we talked about that, all throughout the end of the last season, especially during bowl prep. So he was a really big part of me being able to come back and just leading the team with him and going at it one more time, man. Because we'd been so close. 2019, 2021 we were good. Last year we dropped a couple games that we shouldn't have. So just looking back at all that we have done and how close that we've been, like, we really felt that we had a shot to do it this year.
Yeah, well, it's fun to look ahead. It's fun to watch you guys play. And as the culture would say, it's 1-0 now in the Northwestern season is the goal, right?
Mm-hmm. Championship season, man.
Well, hey, we'll let you go. You know how I feel about you. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. And we'll have you on again down the road.
Yes, sir, dog.
All right, sounds good. There he is, Tyler Nubin, episode 88. That's Gopher Safety, Tyler Nubin. My thanks to him for joining us on episode number 88. I hope you enjoyed hearing from him as much as I enjoyed interviewing him. Episode 88 is presented by Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're buying or selling a business, visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com. We're also partnered with Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union, a locally member-owned full-service financial invested in you. You can learn more at affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. That's affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. They also have a top-ranked mobile app, so check that out. Cub has joined us as a primary sponsor of the Go Gopher podcast. Cub is the official grocer of the Gophers. Everyone deserves a chance at a full life. Join Cub, the University of Minnesota, and M Health Fairview Masonic Children's Hospital. Donate to Cub Kindness at the register and help kids live healthier, happier lives. Thank you for making a difference. Also, welcome aboard to our new sponsor, Head Flyer Brewing in Northeast Minneapolis, just a mile and a half from the stadium. Stop in for great tasting craft beer tonight. And don't forget, Head Flyer Brewing is a pregame and postgame Gopher football option for home games and also game watches for road games. And we have a live Go Gopher podcast from there on Thursday, October 5th. Mark your calendar and come see us. We're also sponsored by State Farm agent Tony Hoagland. Again, I'd invite you to listen to past podcasts, and please be sure right now to click that subscribe button of the Go Gopher podcast. It's free to subscribe and free to listen at any time. And please share the link to the podcast with others so they can subscribe and listen as well. We'll talk again next week. Hey, it's Mike Grimm, host of the Go Gopher Podcast, inviting you to join me for a live on-site episode on Thursday, October 5th at Head Flyer Brewing in Northeast Minneapolis. We'll be previewing the Minnesota-Michigan game, which is that week, the battle for the Little Brown Jug. We'll give away a pair of tickets to that game, have a couple of Gopher players on hand, and get everyone in the mood for Golden Gopher football. Head Flyer Brewing will have discounts, including great deals on buying Little Brown Jugs of craft beer. And the Little Brown Jugs are not that little. Thursday, October 5th, Head Flyer Brewing. Happy hour starts at 6. The show goes at 7. The Go Gopher Podcast. Can't wait to see you at Head Flyer Brewing.